Let's continue with our lecture on mathematical methods. We are slowly switching towards more and more application to physics problems, and as we go along we take more and more examples from physics. In today's lecture I cover some of the physics examples of complex analysis. This is a part of a course PH 3103 at ISAR Calcutta. So before going into the application, let's quickly go through some of the important concepts which we have studied earlier. A real valued function f of xy of two variable in x and y has a continuous first and second order partial derivative in the domain and satisfies the Laplace equation said to be harmonic function. So harmonic function is simply one which satisfies the Laplace equation. A complex function f of z u of xy plus I times v of xy is analytic in a domain, then the function u and v are a harmonic in D. So this is one of the very useful properties of analytic function, that real and imaginary part satisfies the Laplace equation. Let u be a given real function harmonic in domain D, then we can construct another function v of xy such that u and v satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann condition. Then the function v is called harmonic conjugate of u of xy such that the function f of z is equal to u of xy plus I times v of xy is analytic in domain D. This is to say that if you have given a function which is harmonic or satisfies Laplace equation, then you can construct another function v of xy such that both satisfies Cauchy-Riemann condition and forms an analytic function. This is also another way of constructing a harmonic function, but their property which is very useful is that the level curves or u of xy is equal to constant and v of xy is equal to constants are orthogonal to each other. So they define family of curve which are orthogonal to each other at every point in the domain D. So this is a useful concept in physics because you have a concept of potentials, field lines which are orthogonal to potential. So let's look at the more example. First one is from the electrostatics. Electric field in free space, that is in absence of any charges, is described by a potential which satisfies the Laplace equation, and the gradient of potential is described by the electric field. You all know this, but I am simply stating it trivial. So let's say that phi of xy is an electric potential in the 2D space, then it should satisfy the Laplace equation in 2 dimensions. Then the electric field is given as a gradient of phi, which is del phi by del x into I cap plus del phi by del y into j cap. This defines the gradient in the Cartesian coordinate system. You can construct a harmonic conjugate for potential phi of xy that we call a psi of xy, and together the complex function which is analytic, which we call it as a complex potential. Given any potential, the physical potential which satisfies is the Laplace equation, you construct a harmonic conjugate and then you construct the complex potential. Phi of xy is an equipotential surface. In this case, they represents the curves of the constant potential. Then what should be the psi of xy is equal to constant should represent? We have some idea that we know that the both curves are orthogonal to each other. So we know that the equipotential surfaces and their gradient is normal to or orthogonal to the phi of xy is equal to constant curves. That means that it should be a electric field, but electric field is a vector. We know that we can construct a field line and then intuitively we understand that the psi of xy should be the field lines of electric field, which is orthogonal to the equipotential curves. So let's quickly look at the function f of xy is equal to x square minus y square. Then we know that its a harmonic conjugate is a 2 into xy. Now we can construct an electric field for this potential, and then we see that is given by 2x into I cap minus 2y into j cap. Psi of xy represent the electric field lines. We need to evaluate electric field at each point. So it is a rather cumbersome exercise to do. In olden days, when there were no computers to plot and visualize, even if computers were there, they were good at number crunching, not exactly in terms of visualization. Then it was very difficult to evaluate this vector field at each point. But it is rather easy to visualize function 2xy. We see that the function 2xy is along the electric field lines. Del phi is equal to 2xi minus 2yj. So let's first plot one of the level curves. There are a whole lot of level curves in the domain for various values of constant c1. Let's plot one value of c1. We get the two parabolas which corresponds to particular value of c1. On this plot, at different point, let's compute the electric field. What is plotted here is the electric field. The potential itself is given by phi of x square minus y square. The electric field is shown in the figure, and they represents the vectors pointing the arrow in that direction, both in terms of magnitude and the direction. So you can see that as you come closer to 0, the magnitude becomes smaller, and it is pointing in the direction of 0, while as you move away, its value becomes larger and larger. You can see that the potential goes as x square minus y square. At each point, let's also construct the curve psi is equal to 2xy is equal to constant. Now you can see that the vector are all orthogonal to the point where they are two curves are intersecting each other. That we have seen earlier, that when these two level curves cross each other, they should be orthogonal to each other. Now visually we see that the electric field, the gradient of the potential, is in the direction of the other level curve, that is a harmonic conjugate to each other. So if you want to now visualize the field line and the potential, the easiest way is in 2 dimension at least, is to plot these two scalar fields, and then you see one represents the potential and other represents the field lines. Now we can see that at this stage field becomes 0. So this what looking somewhat ad hoc like electric field. It has some other application in terms of fluid mechanics that we will see later, but let's continue with the electrostatic field. So let's take a more practical example in the electrostatics. Of course, reality is much harder. When we go from a real problem, it all gets somewhat complicated. You need a more mathematical tool to study them, but we will study them as we go along. Let's look at an interesting problem. You have two infinitely long metal plates are kept at an angle phi naught. These two plates go all the way to infinity. You have to find out the potential inside. The metal plate means that the potential can be kept at the constant value. We can assume the V naught to be 0. There is no harm in that, or take any specific potential. Mathematically it does not really make a big difference assuming some constant or the constant itself is a 0. So we have one metal plate defining a boundary condition phi of r theta when theta is equal to 0 is a V naught. On the other side we have a phi of r theta is equal to theta naught is equal to V naught. So we got to find out the potential inside this metal plate. Of course, it satisfies the Laplace equation, and we also assume in the two-dimensional space. So we have to solve Laplacian in polar coordinate. Don't know it? Don't worry. It is you have a Laplacian given by this partial differential equation in two variable r and theta. Currently, our intention is not to find a method to solve this, rather to see how we can use the concept of a harmonic conjugate to study the field and the potential inside a given region and make out some physical aspect of this. So, of course, Lion King has its wizard to solve this problem. You may call it a mathematical wizard to solve them. It can be given in terms of sine or in terms of Fourier series. We will come back to this method sometime later if we are taking on to solving partial differential equation. We will not have to worry a whole lot of these series solution. Let's take only one term only, or the lowest term. It is sufficient to show what we intend to study in terms of complex numbers. So let's study the potential satisfying this Laplace equation is given as phi of r and theta is equal to r to the power pi by theta naught into sine pi theta by theta naught. Theta naught is given to you where the plate is fixed with. You can change it and study and see how the potential behaves at different angle. But this is a generic solution for given a arbitrary theta in terms of sine theta, because potential in this case assume the value V naught is equal to 0 on the plates. That is a Y metal plate, because potential can be constant. Yes. To analyze this function using the complex variable, you find it is interestingly simple. So given phi of r theta as r to the power pi by theta naught into sine pi theta by theta naught, it is easy to make a guess and show that the complex potential is z to the power pi by theta naught. Okay, you don't have to be a genius mathematician to make this guess. Now you have been conventionally told that the phi and psi have to be written in specific order. In this case, potential we have of the form r is pi by theta naught sine pi theta by theta naught, and its harmonic conjugate psi of r theta is equal to r to the power pi by theta naught cos theta pi by theta. Real life is different than following some of the bookish knowledge. Complex potential, they are harmonic conjugate of each other, so you can write in terms of any order which you like, and one don't have to specifically have to use real part as a potential and a complex part as a harmonic conjugate. You can write other way around also. Complex part as your potential and real part as your harmonic conjugate. Should we worried about this, about interchanging these two? Let's go ahead and plot and see some of these functions. In principle, you would be plotting this as a function of r and theta and see the plot as a potential in a 2D surface. You can visualize this. As you can see, the potential becomes 0. In this case, I have taken theta naught to be pi by 4, and it becomes 0 at that point. Otherwise, it goes as a sine theta pi by theta naught. So you can see that it takes the value of sine theta, and you can see the phi is equal to constant or equipotential surfaces very easily, set of curves parallel to z-axis. Let's make a contour plot of this. You can see these are modern techniques which were easy to visualize any potential given. So you can see that these are the equipotential surfaces. There are some artifact coming because of the too many curves present very close to each other, but you can see how they behave. Equipotential surface which we have seen. We are not supposed to look all that. Our job is to do level surfaces for the two function phi and psi. So let's have a look at that. Phi is equal to constant and psi is equal to constant. Curves are given here. In this plot, you can see that the metal plate, one is at theta is equal to 0 and other to theta is equal to theta naught. So both the case, metal plate has a 0 potential and there is some potential inside which would take the shape of a parabola. In our case, we have chosen this is to be our potential, and then you can see that they are forming the family of the parabola passing through this. You can see that when they come very close to the surface, they should be taking the value of 0. In the 3D plot, we have already seen that. So here also you see that you can make a similar conclusion. On the other hand, we also plot the psi of our theta is equal to constant, which are these orange curves. These orange curves represent the field lines of electric fields. You can see that they are orthogonal to blue curve, which represent the equipotential surfaces. This is how you visualize the potential and the field lines using the analytic function. So you can, everywhere you can see that this is how the potential and field line look inside your domain of interest. Now the interest in understanding what happens when the angle theta naught takes the different values. You have taken theta is equal to pi by 4 in this case, where this is how the potential look like inside. Some of you wanted more challenging problem as a homework. Here is a one. Discuss what happens when theta is equal to pi. The theta is equal to pi would be representing a simple plate like this, because this is a theta naught, and when it becomes pi, it would be like this. So you got to discuss using a complex potential behavior or the physics when theta naught going to pi. That is a simple plate. Now that is itself is not interesting. You could take upon another problem when theta is minus pi by 2. In this case, you have an interesting situation here where there is a sharp edge, and you are going to study the field here. This is not the region of interest. This is just to show that what is the angle theta is equal to minus pi by 2, but you got to study a field in this area. The most interesting case would come when theta is equal to 2 pi. What happens when r goes to 0 and the most interesting case comes when theta is equal to theta naught is equal to 2 pi. Okay, that means a plate which is going halfway, this is origin, and kept in one direction. So that would be require some interesting concept from the complex analysis. You would see that where the branch cuts and the discontinuity of r to the power 1 by n plays an important role in understanding these solution. So this is a homework, would provoke some of your thoughts. Anyway, the homeworks tends to get more interesting as we go along. We tackle more and more physics oriented problems. We will talk about fluid in the next lecture. Let's stop here and take the other example in the next video.